welcome to my podcast, the I Just Wanna Knit, and it's me, Lisa, and I think it's been like 4 weeks since I last recorded my first ever episode, so this is episode 2, and I have a lot to actually share, so I think I will just jump right in. I don't have any finished objects because I've just been doing a lot of different projects in general, and then I also, unfortunately, have a lot of mistakes that I need to frog back on. So I've kind of been in a little stopped, a little loss of mojo in a sense. So yeah, there's no finished objects, but I guess the first thing I wanted to share with is the sock, colorwork sock that I made for myself. It's deceiving because it looks like I'm very close to being done, but I did not swatch. I also did not follow a pattern. This is all just freehand. I just created a little chart that I shared in the last video. And this is also my first time doing color work. And I did stranded, so there's lots of pretty floats on the back here. But the thing is, I never tried it on, and I finished all of the color work, and I was just working on the heel turn, and I finished the gusset. And then I finally tried it on, and I was like, okay, since I'm getting pretty decent progress on the foot, I thought I would try it on just to make sure that this will turn out the way I want it to. And yeah, this was not getting on my foot. Here's a little bit of a closer, let me get a light. This is, I mean, it's not the end of the world because it really only took me like a week to work up. It's just still, it's slightly disappointing because, again, I'm gonna have to frog this all. And I was so proud because the tension's actually quite even. I know it doesn't really look like that because it's not blocked, but if it were to be blocked and when you pull it out, like stretch it slightly, you can see that the tension's fairly even. So I was very, very happy with the way that I managed to do it for the first time. Again, first time doing color work ever, so I can't be too upset with myself. I'm learning to really try and do my swatches and test my swatches. So that was disappointing. Like, I'm not even joking. It's not gonna go over my heel. I can get to about here, and then, yeah, this isn't going over my heel. So this needs to get frogged, and I might have to switch up something because I definitely need at least another 6 stitches, and this pattern is in a 12-stitch chart, so it's a repeat of 12 stitches, so I don't know. A little bit disappointed with that one, so that has to get fixed. What else? I started the lumpy sweater, which I talked about in my last podcast. This is how it's going, except I've made a terrible mistake. I started knitting a small, but then I realized like this was gonna be like massive on me, so I switched to an extra small. And I think it's again because my gauge, it was slightly too big, and I was already using 10mm needles, and I didn't want to have to get another one. Like, I know I said like, oh, it's not the end of the world if I have to get another one, but like, it's already too big. If I got a larger size needle, like this yarn is just, it's super chunky, super chunky, which I love, but it's really not great for this pattern. But anyway, the mistake I made is obviously, it was really interesting because you knit the sleeves, well, okay, actually, you knit the body, up to like right here. And then you start knitting each of the sleeves individually, and you knit till about right there, which I think was like 28 centimeters. So you've got 3 pieces, right? And what you need to do then is start knitting them all together in the round. So I messed up by breaking the yarn on both sleeves. Apparently you're just supposed to break the one yarn. But I continued to mess up when I started the raglan decreases. And I've never actually knit a raglan and finished it. Like, I've started at a raglan, so I understand the construction that you have to, I mean, if you're knitting top down, you have to do increases on both sides of the raglan stitch. And then if you're knitting bottom up, you have to do the decreases on both sides. I completely read the pattern wrong, and I was only doing the decreases on the body. So the sleeves, as you can see, have just been continuing to get the same, they're the same size. They don't decrease at all. And I was looking at this and I was like, this is not gonna work. And the final stitch count, the math just wouldn't work because you needed like 48 in total. But on the sleeves alone, you have 40. So like or 30. So there's 60 stitches. Like, no. And then I reread it and I was like, I'm doing this completely wrong. And I knew I was doing it wrong because I understand how a raglan's constructed. I just, yeah. So I have to completely frog back to pretty much the start of the raglan stitches, which, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it is like a skein, and like that's a lot of yarn, and I just really want this sweater to be done so that way I can wear it and like enjoy. Like, this is gonna be a thick boy. Like, she is massive and she is heavy, but she's probably gonna be super, super warm. So I'm excited. I just have to frog back, and that's never fun. Nobody likes frogging. My second whip, I just started again today. I've already knit 2 of these, but they're I don't know if you can tell, but it's the top of a little pumpkin, and they're the pumpkin pattern by, what's his name? Norman, I think? I don't remember what his Ravelry user is, but it's his pumpkin pattern. And I'm really excited because this one I'm knitting up for my husband to give to one of his coworkers, because she keeps making the comment, I guess they made a comment about how she just wants to take his pumpkin so much, because I knit him a pumpkin to put on his desk at his office, or in his office, in his little workspace, and I made myself one at my office in my little workspace, and I wanted him to have one for himself. And I guess like his coworkers have seen it, and he works with a lot of women, and they just absolutely love the little pumpkin. So I'm making her one so that way she doesn't have to steal my husband's. Not that I think she would. Why not, you know? I love knitting. I love sharing knitting. It's so cool. So this is just what I'm doing. And because I got ahead of myself here. Let me start over really quick. This is knit with Hobbii yarn, and it's their wool sock yarn. What's it called? It's the rainbow 4-ply sock yarn. I shared about it in my last video, but that's what that's knitted on. This I got from Hobby Lobby, just because I needed a brown that I had this from way back, and it's Karen Simply Soft, I think is what it was called. And this is what I'm knitting the pumpkin for. And I needed some brown yarn to go with, but they didn't have any of the brown, so I had to go to Hobby Lobby and get this one. So this is the stem of the pumpkin. And they're both really soft, and they turned out really good, so I'm just making a 3rd one. And I might make a 4th one for his boss, because she also made the comment of how they were cute. And I like when people get things that are cute, especially things that I can make. So, and then the lumpy sweater I was making with another of Paint Box yarns. And this one they're simply super chunky. It's 100% acrylic. This one was 100% wool. those two are both 100% acrylic, the ones I'm making for the pumpkin. So because these are 100% acrylic, I'm hoping it will be fairly easy to wash. It doesn't actually say the directions for washing, but, oh yeah, it does. I need to look up what that little triangle thing means. I'm guessing it means like hanging dry, but I don't know for sure. But it looks like it's washer, iron. Maybe that's a dryer symbol. I have no idea. But I think it'll be fairly easy because it's acrylic anyway. So that's unfortunately gonna have to be frogged and then redone. And then I should be able to finish it sometime this week, if not today or tomorrow, between the two. And then I think that's all I have for whips right now. Well, I forgot to bring my swatch because I left it at my office, or in my little like desk area at my office. It's not my office, it's an office of people. I just have a little cubicle. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. But I hung it up on my cubicle wall because I like making it seem like artsy, and like that's the sort of thing that I enjoy and makes me happy. So I just have it there, and I was gonna bring it this weekend to film, but I forgot. But I knit up my swatch for my Ingrid sweater, and after blocking, I hit gauge, which is good. Like, I think I might ever be slightly, just so slightly off, but I think it'll be fine because it's got a lot of positive ease anyway, and I'm probably gonna knit a small for that one. So that's the Ingrid sweater, and I've got that one, the swatch knit up, and I'm probably gonna start, I mean, I might cast on today, I don't know. I might cast on this weekend. Right now it's Saturday, and tomorrow I think would be a good time to cast on if I wanted to. So that's a very good possibility. I think that's all I have right now planned. I do want to start the Craggy Shore socks. I don't know which one I'd like to use more for it, but one of the two that I got from Hobbii, I don't know if I want the gray or if I want the cream, but I do want to knit those socks because I think they're really cute and simple, and I want to do that. I just haven't decided which color. Next. Okay, so that's all of my whips that I have going on right now. The next thing I want to talk about really quick is acquisitions. And I do have these, this is actually a funny story. I went to my local yarn, not my local yarn store, it's unfortunately in like an hour and 15 minutes or so away at the city where my mother-in-law lives. And I went there because we went to watch her dog, which is, she's the sweetest thing. And maybe I'll insert a picture just because she's adorable and she's so sweet. But I went there and I wanted to go look for that midnight blue-esque thing that I want to make. I have no idea if it would be a sweater or if it would be a cardigan. I do know it would be something I could wear. I'm so in love with that color right now, and I think it would be gorgeous, and it's probably because of it becoming winter here very soon, and that's just such a wintry, beautiful color. So I went to go look to see if they had anything there that I could bring home. I couldn't find the color I was looking for, which is fine, but I did get distracted with some other things that I'll show in my little yarny goodness section of the video. But these are the Chagu, but the infamous red cable needles. And the lady that was there, she was really sweet, because I was asking her, like, oh, it's my first time getting into, like, sock knitting. What would be the best way? Like, should I just go straight for the magic loop? Do I try DPNs? I have used DPNs. I mean, I'm using them here. And she recommended the magic loop, which I agree. I think the magic loop is great for somebody that doesn't like it to be as finicky, and like this can be very useful for other things, whereas DPNs, you really only can use them for socks or very small arms, depending on the DPN you get. Obviously there's like a million things in knitting that you can use DPNs for, but I feel like the cable alone just gives you a lot more than the DPNs themselves. So, and we didn't have the 30 inch, I don't remember, but I ended up getting like a, I don't remember what size this was, but it was a size too big. But she's like, oh, it'll probably be fine. So I have loved these. This is what I knitted this on, and it was so fast. They are just so smooth. Right now I have the not so nice, the like really beginner, cheap in a sense, the Clover interchangeable needle set by Takumi or something like that. I need to get myself a set of these. These are just wonderful to work with, and I really want to knit with these. So that is in the possibilities. I'll probably ask for it for Christmas, or like money for Christmas, so that way I can get these, because they are a hefty price, but they are just beautiful, beautiful needles to work with. And I also got some of those cute little, let me just go grab them. I got some of these. These are great stitch markers, and I think they're just the nice little pear-shaped ones, and I just thought I'd add them to, oh, I don't know if I can put them on my hand and show you, but they're really nice. Gosh, it gets so dark. They can unclip. I mean, I think we've all seen them. They're like little safety pins sort of thing. They'll unclip, and you can slide them over your needles, you can slide them in between stitches. They're just really resourceful and useful. I got them at that little shop then as well. This was actually, I got these before I even made the first podcast, but I didn't share them for some reason. But they gave me a cute little, what are they called? What are they called? Tape measure. They gave me a tape measure that had their logo on it, and she's like, oh, so you don't forget where to go. And it was so sweet. I love little small businesses that do things like that. It's wonderful. So I think that's all I have for like acquisition sort of things, but I do have more yarn, which this was exciting. So I have two things that are very similar. These I thought they're like stone washed, and they're beautiful, and they're sock yarn, and I want to make these as gifts possibly if I don't keep them for myself. But these are the little patterns. It's supposed to be like self-striping sock yarn. So my goal with these is to knit them for my mother's. This one I'm thinking for my mother-in-law, because she made the comment about how like she thinks blue looks really good on her because it helps bring out her eyes, which I agree. So I think this would be, oh, and these are so soft, so I don't mind giving them as a gift. They're 75% merino wool, 25% nylon, and I want to give this one to my mother-in-law. Hopefully I can knit her a pair, and then this one for my mother, because I think she has, I think cream looks like, I mean, it's not really cream, but like that like softer beige cream-ish color I think looks really good on her skin. So I want to give this one for my mother, hopefully, if I can knit them up. Christmas is rolling around. I also don't know if I'm selfless enough, because I might knit these up and then realize that, oh, I don't have my own pair of socks that I've even knit for myself yet. So there's a possibility that they will just end up being mine. But that's originally the goal I had in mind when I picked these up. It's seriously so soft. And this is gorgeous. I don't even have a Swift. I don't even have anything to wind this with, but it is the unique self-striping. This is a hand-dyed yarn, and it's my only and first hand-dyed yarn I've ever acquired. And this is just, it's not doing justice for how beautiful these colors are. Like, it's got greens and purples and blues, and it's just, it's beautiful, and I'm so excited. This is for me, for sure. It's 435 yards or 400 meters. It's 100 grams, and it's a 100% extreme superwash merino. It's very soft. Again, the colorway is just, it's beautiful. Like, how do you manage to sum up what this is other than just beautiful and breathtaking? And I was mesmerized. It was a little bit more expensive. I think this one was 20, maybe 75. Well, not 75. The whole thing was like 75 of all the stuff I bought. This one was $24.99. So about $25, 25 US dollars. And I don't know what that is in euros, but I'll include it. I'm so obsessed with this. It's beautiful, and I want to knit it, but I don't have anything to hank it with. I know I can hank it with like a toilet paper or a paper towel roll and do it on my own, but I kind of really want to Swift, and I want to cake it up perfectly and beautifully, and like, it just, I don't deserve this. I really don't. Again, it's beautiful. So those were the yarny acquisitions I got. And again, the socks. That's what I'm going to be doing. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know if I'd like knitting socks. This, I did enjoy knitting. It's just a pain that I'm going to have to frog it back. I don't even want to deal with it. But there is something else of like future yarns / projects that I want to do that I don't have stuff for yet. But we all know her. We all love her. Rebecca, you're wonderful, from the Crayabea Knitting Podcast, and I love watching her podcast. I love seeing all the things that she knits up so fast, how creative she is, and just like fearless too. Like, I could never be brave enough to like write up a pattern and send it out there and then have people like go and test my pattern. I can't. I can make stuff on my own without a pattern, but I don't think I have the skills to write up a pattern and then make it super size inclusive. Like, that just, it doesn't work for me. So I absolutely admire that she can do that. And she came out with her Cargill, the Cargill cowl, and I want to knit that up so much. I love that she's doing it for a cause. The Fistula Foundation, I believe, is what she is sending all of her profits. I think she's sending actually 100% of it to the Fistula Foundation, which is just, it's like, you go girl, like, powerful, super powerful. I love that, and I want to help be a part of that. So I'm going to get her pattern, and originally, I don't know how well it'll turn out because I'm planning on holding it with this, whatever I decide to get. And originally I was going to hold this with this to make the lumpy sweater, but like, they're two very different weights, and that wasn't going to work. So when she came out with her cowl, which I saw that she was going to be making it, I think in a few podcasts before she actually like came out with her recent one where she released the pattern, as soon as she said she was making it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I want to do it with this, hold it with this, because a mohair cowl sounds amazing. This is the Diablo. I talked more about it in my last video again, but this is the Hobbii Diablo mohair, and I want to knit it with this. I don't know what I'm going to knit with it. I'm probably going to go back to that yarn shop and get something there that I can knit it with. Probably something similar to what she's knitted on, because I would love to branch out with my yarns. I really do. Like, this is already a big chest. The classic, what is it? Easy Care Classic, Mayflower, 100% merino wool from Hobbii. That one's also branching out. This is 100% wool and that's branching out. Like before I used to just knit on acrylic. So I'm really excited that I'm finally getting to the point where I can do natural fibers, and that's so exciting for me that I'm confident enough to spend the money on those types of wonderful, beautiful yarns and not feel like I don't deserve to, in a sense. Like I've been knitting for a year now and I'm just starting to explore other types of fibers, so I'm really excited about that. I do have one more acquisition thing that I forgot about, but like counts because it's a part of my knitting collection, I guess. I got these off of Facebook Marketplace, but they're just the little baby mats. And these I'm planning on using for blocking mats, and I've already blocked my swatch on it for the Ingrid sweater, so that was exciting. And they worked really well. I just used like sewing pins, and they didn't rust or anything, so I think that'll be fine to use for now. It would be nice to get the like blocking combs, but I'll make do with what I have because I want to spend all my money on yarn. So that's all I really have for this video. I think I should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be further along in the next one. I'll have to fix that. Hopefully that'll be a finished object, the Limpy sweater. And then I will have to start on quite a bit of socks. So hopefully the next time that you see me, I have socks done. I have the Limpy sweater done. The Ingrid sweater should be started, hopefully. And I'll have a pumpkin that was finished and given away. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your knitting time and that you got some inspiration, or you just do what I do and you listen to videos while you knit, because it's fun to see what other people in the community are working on and spending their time doing the thing that we all love, which is knitting. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day or whatever. Go check out my other video if you want, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!